of a championship, the demise of this championship that it became. We are going to explain part 2 of this stream tonight. Coming over for Red Carpet Ring. Thank you all for coming over from Facebook. Come over, like, subscribe as you come through the ropes. And we're going to discuss the how the WCW Championship was the demise of it, how it declined day by day, literally. I will go over a few stories regarding this championship, and this is pretty much the beginning of the end of this organization, the company, not just WCW, NWO, all of it. It just went downhill. It's just terrible. But we will get into that in a second. So it's just terrible. This championship is probably why it don't get no respect like it do. They don't. I mean, after the stories of everything WCW Championship, that's why people make fun of it. I mean, it pretty much went through, don't deserve any credit anymore. It was a discredited championship.
You actually think you deserve a shot at this? You don't deserve, buddy. You actually think you deserve a shot at this? You don't deserve, buddy.
Don't deserve anything.
You deserve a shot at this?
Don't deserve anything. I had to play that twice because it's how bad that championship has become. It was a bad championship. It just made no sense. But I'm going to explain the story right now. We'll go over three different stories regarding this championship, and we'll go over the first one. Now, the first one was crazy. I'll show you a screenshot of it. This is the stream. I'm sorry. This is the particular story that ended Goldberg's streak, his undefeated streak that I mentioned, as he was he was a WCW World Champion. He was undefeated for a long time. This is regarding this story, the true story behind the ending of a streak. Now, this went down at Starrcade, December 27, 1998, and it was a match of Goldberg versus Kevin Nash for the WCW World Championship. Now, Goldberg said in an interview that one of the views of his streak was it was organic. He didn't know what was going on. Every time he went to the building, he thought he was going to lose. So it was nothing preset, how WWE does today. They like to go off days a lot, streaks, and how many days you've been pinned, the last time you've been pinned, or how many days you've been champion, whether it's the World Championship, the Women's Championship, or Intercontinental Championship. It wasn't like that back then. They literally was organic with it. Goldberg got a point. Now, they said Kevin Nash had secured his title shot World War III, and Goldberg was already the WCW United States champion. So it was a tragedy that he lost what he did. Before we do get more into the story, let's see who came through the ropes into the ring. Leon Skilbred, salute. Thank you for all your help, man. B Turner, salute. What's going on, man? So we're going to get into more of that, and I will pull the article right now. It's going to talk about how Goldberg's streak ended, how it really ended. So please bear with me as I pull up that article now. Now, Kevin Nash says right here that he didn't book himself to end Goldberg's streak. He explained the motivations behind also finger poke of doom, which will explain in a second. Kevin Nash said that he wasn't booking. He did not book himself to win the match. He said before he asked to start the rumor that he was in charge, he said, "You think Bill Goldberg put in his book?" People say he booked himself. And he said, "I booked myself." He said if he did that, while he broke himself to win. Then turned around 6 days later and decided to finger poke of doom. Like that was my creation, that was my idea. So Kevin Nash is pretty much saying that he did not book himself to be Goldberg at Starrcade event in his streak. That's Kevin Nash's words on that. Who knows if Kevin Nash is telling the truth or he's lying? I believe Kevin Nash is lying because Kevin Nash don't want no backlash. He kind of smoke. He know people are already looking at him sideways. Come on, he came from the clique, with WWE. Then he comes over here, rumored the head booker, booked himself out of all people to be Goldberg, who was on a tear, pretty much prime Goldberg at that. So that's regarding the undefeated streak. And this is the beginning of when the WCW championship was declining and the mobs was going down more and more. This was the very beginning of it when it started with the Goldberg streak being broken by Kevin Nash himself. So that is good information, and I got to give myself props on that one.
Because I am that damn good.
So we will get into another part of how the WCW Championship went downhill. That's one story explained. One story. We're going to go to the second. Kevin Nash kind of touched on in an interview, and this is the graphic of it. For those you don't know, this is the finger poke of doom. This happened, like Kevin Nash said, shortly after Goldberg's streak ended. It was 6, 7, 8 days later, pretty much a week later. It was on Monday Nitro, WCW Monday Nitro, as it was during the Monday Night Wars with the WWE doing Monday Night Raw. This was January 4th, 1999 episode. So Kevin Nash is poked by Hulk Hogan, WCW World Championship on the line, and Kevin Nash loses to Hulk Hogan just like that. 1, 2, 3, he loses. So this has become famous, and it's become more famous than people thought it would ever be. Now let's get to the real reason why this really happened. The finger poke doom. Now they said that, like I said, during the Monday Night Wars, the ratings weren't what they used to be with WCW. WCW was not holding it down like they used to. NWO was getting kind of stale, boring. So they was trying anything for ratings, according to this article. They said in an attempt to salvage WCW leading ratings, Eric Bischoff had a few tricks up his sleeve. Now, during the January 4th, 1999 episode of Nitro, it was taping live as the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Now, they said that Nitro was up against a pre-taped edition of Raw. I'm going to say that again, a pre-taped edition, as they were both aired the same night. Because Raw was not live, but Nitro was. Now, during this finger poke of doom, to sway viewers away from switching over to Raw, Bischoff decided to give away the results of Raw's main event, which was with Mick Foley as the Mankind character, won the WWF Championship over The Rock. They leaked the results before it happened, before everyone could see it. It says it right here. They said that this move backfired for WCW as they was trying to swindle WWE viewers away from WWE and stay on Nitro, and they was trying to hurt WWE ratings that evening, but ended up hurting themselves. So it said within minutes, Nielsen ratings showed that several 100,000 viewers changed channels from Nitro on TNT to the wrong USA network. They turned back for the closing 5 minutes of Nitro after Mankind won the big title, as that was the first time ever Mankind won a world championship. And here Tony Schiavone announced that he continued. We understand Mick Foley, who wrestled here one time as Captain Jack, is going to win their world title. Oh, that's going to put some butts in the seats. And it did. It really did. They said here in this article, had WCW not given away the Raw main event results, they would have been the victor in ratings that evening. The final ratings for that night were 5.7 million for Monday Night Raw and only 5 million for Monday Nitro. That is amazing that a pre-taped show did better in ratings than a live show that was recorded live in front of millions of viewers. That is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, that's this is why WCW was going down the drain. I mean, you got to give it to WWE. That's why it's still around today. And WCW, whether you like or not, you have to acknowledge that.
The whole world will acknowledge me.
You got to acknowledge that, WCW. I mean, this was not a good move for WCW. Very bad tactic, bad management to say the least, led by Eric Bischoff, who's not one of the best minds in wrestling business as he claimed he is. Terrible, terrible move. This was not good for him. So this is, like I said, this was also the match on the WCW Championship. And as you can see, the title goes down even more. It just declines and declines. And this happened within a week of each other. You had the Goldberg streak undefeated, streak broken. And then within a week later, the finger poke of doom. And same night, Mankind wins the world title. And their ratings dropped. They lost to Raw in the ratings war that evening on January 4th. 1999. This is terrible, man. I mean, it's a joke, you know? And it pretty much showed that WCW was not going to stay up any longer. It was going down even more. And I just have to say this.
And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler. The WCW was